I don't like heights." "Then you picked the wrong field for that," Sabra chuckled. "No, for you it's all about seeing how close you can get to the fire without getting burned." "Not true." Kelsey set her jaw. It wasn't about the danger or the adrenaline racing through her body. It was about redeeming her family name and being able to get a job in her chosen field. "You can't undo what your dad did." It was like Sabra had read her mind. "You're right, and that's why I'm testing security systems, to protect businesses against thieves like him. It's not like I'm breaking and entering, since Mr. Rutherford hired me to check the building's security." "Then why doesn't he correct the newspaper reports that make you sound like some kind of thief?" "He will. She just didn't know when." "Talk to you later." Kelsey slid the phone into her backpack and pulled on a black beanie cap, tucking her short hair inside it, then felt to make sure none of her curls had escaped. Should have bought a tan one to match her ash blonde hair. She felt fairly confident that if anyone saw her, they would assume she was male. She tested the cable one last time before climbing over the side of the building. This was the part she really didn't like, dangling 14 floors above the street, with only a cable attached to the electric winch to keep her from plunging to the alley below. At least it wasn't 40 floors, like the last time. The news reports stated she had nerves of steel, but if those same reporters could hear the drumbeat of her heart pounding against her chest, they would know better. But if she passed this test, and Rutherford hired her for his other buildings, more jobs would roll in. She forced the air out of her lungs and breathed in again. "Don't look down." No worry there. She was too busy keeping her body from bumping against the side of the wall as she lowered herself to the corner window she'd discovered unlocked 2 days ago. The building had been built in the 1930s and still had functioning windows. Her cover as a temporary secretary got her into the building Rutherford had been hired to keep secure, this time giving her access to Turner Accounting. After poking around for a couple of days, she penetrated their firewall and then found the window. The window rose easily. She slid inside and slipped out of the harness, letting it fall to the floor. The winch weighed 15 pounds, enough to keep it from going anywhere while she left her calling card. There were 4 desks in the room, one that had been hers in her temporary employment. The camera in the corner of the ceiling drew her attention, even though she knew the guards only saw a video of an empty room. Habit made her hug the wall as she crept to the door that opened into the hallway, then walked to the CEO's office. She pulled a small black case from the backpack and chose a pick. It took her 15 seconds to unlock the door. Once inside the office, she padded across the thick carpet to the desk. Walnut. Expensive. Nice computer, too. Kelsey placed a business card on the keyboard and then retraced her steps. In the beginning, the cards were for publicity, but now they were her trademark. She didn't want Rutherford to have any doubts about who breached the security. Back at the window, Kelsey slipped into the harness and climbed through the casement. As she dangled above the street, she pressed the red button on the winch and shifted the gear to ascend. 3 floors up, she bumped against a window and stopped the winch. Suddenly, the whop, whop, whop of a helicopter threw her body into panic mode. She looked up and saw strobe lights streaking the sky. Kelsey gripped the cable. What if they saw her? Images of handcuffs and the backseat of a patrol car hit her at warp speed. Seconds later, the chopper swung toward the river, and she breathed again. Probably a news helicopter taking video of the festivities. But she needed to get on the roof and inside the building before it returned. Kelsey adjusted the harness and glanced into the office. The skin on the back of her neck prickled. She didn't remember a light in any of the rooms. But right here, right now, she was staring at a dimly lit room. Movement caught her attention. A man? Could it get any worse? Her blood pulsing in her ears muffled all other sounds, and she barely heard the chopper as it made another sweep of the area. She narrowed her eyes at the silhouette of a large man in front of the light source.